took me a minute to make this video, man. I really had to take my time and process what I was listening to. Some people are saying that this was a bad album. Honestly, I wouldn't say it was a bad album. I'll say it was, I don't know. It wasn't a bad album. I felt like some of the tracks should have been on another series that Wayne has. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been on I'm Not a Human Being, or if he was to come back out with a rock album or something like that, and he needed some tracks. Some of these songs could have been on that. You know what I'm saying? The Cotton Candy joint should have been on him and 2 Chainz little series that they doing and stuff like that. Like, it felt like this shouldn't have been an entry for the Carter series. This felt like this shouldn't have been Carter 6. You know what I mean? It's to the point where some people are even saying, oh, if you want to hear the real Carter 6, go over to Young Thug's Barter 6, that's the Carter 6. Like, don't go that far. But hey, look, some people are criticizing Wayne being dated, on this, and I beg to differ. I don't think he was dated at all. Actually, he had different flows like a mug. I don't think people can get past his voice sometimes. But if you listen to how he approached each song and the pockets that he was going into, like, he was doing his thing in a sense, but it was like the beats was fighting against, you know what I'm saying, like what he was doing, like it just didn't mash all together. Like, this should have been a Carter project, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wouldn't give this album like a 10 stars or nothing like that, or something on my top, you know what I'm saying, my top list or whatever like that. But definitely, man, let's just break it down just one more time, man. Let's just break it down. So the first let's say the first 5, because the first one was just the intro, right? The first 5 songs, all the way down to Banned from NO. There were some decent tracks. Now I can kind of deal without Bells. Bells was hard, but I can. It just wasn't too much of my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? But it still was dope how he flipped the Rock the Bells joint, and he was doing his LL Cool J flow on that thing. He's still a creative. You know what I'm saying? He's still an artist that is very aware of the roots that he get his stuff from. You know what I'm saying? So, and he pays homage. So, you know what I'm saying? I did appreciate that factor, but I can still deal without it. But anyway, hip hop, that felt like he was keeping up with the times. That felt like that should have been a Big X the Plug song, you know what I mean, by him being on the hook. But it just felt like the beat, everything on just that whole thing, and then the way Wayne delivered his verses, that was a nice track. You know what I'm saying? I truly enjoyed that. I felt like, yes, that should be on this album. Now Sharks, I felt like should have been on this album as well. I'm still trying to break down Big Sean's situation, but you know what I'm saying, like Jelly Roll and Wayne doing their thing, like Wayne did his thing on that first verse, like that fit. So I would say this needs to stay on the album. It was dope. I did like that part. Banned from NO. So Wayne spitting that, and it felt like this was like, it felt like a New Orleans track, period. You know what I'm saying? Like this is bounce music. This is, he made the party joint. He made it with, you know what I'm saying, what they bounce to down in New Orleans in the club, and you know what I'm saying, like, and then on top of that, he was bringing them lyrics on that too as well. So you know what I mean, like this was perfect for the Carter 6 as well. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it's the best track, but it definitely was a hype track. It definitely was a party track. I liked it. Now when we get to Days felt like this should have been like on a Rebirth 2. You know what I'm saying? This felt like this was misplaced. This felt like this was on the wrong album. You know what I mean? Definitely unique. It definitely does speak to Wayne's like reach on how he reaches out and does work with different types of artists and stuff like that. Now, honestly, I don't know who Bino is or whatever like that. It sounds like he is a rock artist. Correct me down in the comments. I don't know who he is, but I did click on. I was on Apple, but I did go over to his page, and I clicked on one song just to kind of see, okay, what's really his vibe, and that does feel like his vibe. He's doing the rock singing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that shows Wayne's creativity, but it didn't feel like it should have been on here. Cotton Candy, it could be on here, but I felt like, yeah, that's more towards 2 Chainz and Wayne's album type. Like it should be in that series, you know what I mean, more than it should be on the Carter 6. But I'll say it stay there. You know what I'm saying? I can see it be there. It was a decent, okay track. Yeah, it was you know what I mean? Flex Up, that was okay. So that one was hard to explain. How I felt about that. It was hard. I don't want to say it was hard. It was good. For me, it was good. Now, to other people, it could be hard or whatever like that. But for me, it was a decent. But it didn't feel like it should have been on Carter 6. It felt like it should have been on like I'm Not a Human Being series or something like that. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like it belonged here on the Carter. Island Holiday definitely did not belong on. That should have been on like a Rebirth series if he made Rebirth a series, man. That did not feel like that belonged at all. Not at all. Loki's theme doesn't feel like it belongs on the Carter 6. That he was saying some stuff and the beat was decent, but I felt like this should have been like on I'm Not a Human Being. Again, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta stress that once we get past Banned from NO, you got maybe 2 tracks I can possibly see being on a Carter, but everything else doesn't seem like it should be on the Carter. So If I Play Guitar, that should have been that shouldn't have been on this album either. You know what I'm saying? That should have been on some type of Rebirth album. Peanuts to an Elephant. Now, I really didn't like this track. I felt the beat was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took away from me. It was distracting from me listening to Wayne. You know what I mean? And it felt dated for me. Nah, I just didn't like that track. You know what I mean? This track that he has with Cameron, that was decent. That was dope. I like that. Him, the collabo with the son and father. You know what I'm saying? Like that should be like. Look, he should. This should be on the Carter 6 because it's just reminiscent of what what Wayne kind of came from. He gave us like Father Like Son with Birdman. So you know what I'm saying? Like to really have like his son do a track with him. I think him and his sons, both of his sons, should do a like Father Like Son album together, like all 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? That would be dope. You know what I'm saying? But that was fun just hearing, Cameron on the track. You know what I'm saying? Now this one with Wyclef, I could care less for it. I mean, at first it came in good with the little like almost like that opera, you know what I'm saying, type of beat or whatever, or that opera sample. But I could do without it. I can do without it. Wyclef, shout out to him. He's a great artist, but I just felt like this one wasn't it wasn't for me. Anyway, Being Myself. This was it was alright, but then again it was it don't feel like it should be on the Carter 6. Now let me see. This one with Navi, his other son. It was cool. It was definitely cool. I think it should be on the Carter 6 just for the simple fact that it's father and son situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, that was cool. Now we did a reaction to this. Alone in the studio with my gun. I feel like Kodak was too zooted to do that joint. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't hearing the snapping that I wanted from Kodak, but even with that, Wayne's verse was decent. Machine Gun doing a hook, you know what I mean? That's dope. And he was like, you know, Wayne was like, I sent this over to Machine Gun. He, you know, saying, give me a hook or something like that. I want to hear Machine Gun rap again. You know what I mean? Like, we talking about Alone in the Studio with my gun. That would have been a perfect, like, reintroduction for him to bust out a verse. You know what I mean? And give us a nice killer 16. You know what I'm saying? Or how many ever they did. You know what I'm saying, on this joint. But I don't know. But should it be on the Carter 6? I don't think so. I think that should have been on maybe like a Rebirth too. Like I could literally take tracks from here and start like a playlist and call it the albums I think it should be on. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what I'm thinking about doing. But let me see. Writing history. I felt like that was decent. I feel like that can stay. You know what I'm saying? It was alright. You know what I'm saying? And then of course this came a lot later, or you know what I'm saying, the next week or whatever. But the remix to Ban from NO. They said Nicki Minaj was actually taking shots at Roc Nation on there. So you know what? I was gonna do a reaction to it, but I may not. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's too late. I feel like when I miss an opportunity or a window, you know what I'm saying, to react to something, I feel like if I do it later, my energy for it ain't gonna be as hyped as I am when I first see it released. You dig what I'm saying? If that make any sense. But anyway, but yeah. And then there was another track. I don't know if it's on any of these bonus quote unquote re-releases of the album. But what was the other one? Mama Don't Cry. That was a fire. That was nice. That was fire. I think it was Future and Future and Lil Baby on there. That was a fire song. I feel like it should have been on there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? On this album in the first place. So I don't know why. Maybe it was they forgot it. I don't. Who knows? But whoever put the track list together and took out probably songs that Wayne knew was gonna, you know what I'm saying, be flames and stuff like that, and put this together. No, guys, that wasn't it. So yeah, I agree with a lot of the people in the criticism with no, this wasn't it. And it wasn't it for the simple fact that the track selection, whoever, because we know Wayne has tons of songs, and this Carter 6 album could have been like literally 50 songs long, like dead serious. But whoever put this together, you know what I'm saying, for him and took, you know what I'm saying, like certain tracks off and put this in there, leave this in there, I feel like y'all chose very poorly. So I gotta go, guys, but that's my thoughts and review on the Carter 6. Tell me what you think of this album down in the comments section, and if there's any albums or songs that you want me to react to or review or whatever the situation may be, hit me up down in the comment section. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. Make sure before you guys go, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you next track.